She became a surrogate for a couple who couldn't have kids. Then doctors showed them the ultrasound. For Lianna Fives, 37, of East Moriches in New York State, a trip to the doctor's office for an ultrasound scan was nothing new. After all, she and husband Shawn, age 40, already had 5 children, an apt number given the surname. This time around, however, Lianna wouldn't be adding to her own brood. You see, Fives had volunteered to serve as a surrogate for her friend Nicole Berrettini, age 29, and her husband Kevin, age 35. Both couples then attended the majority of Lianna's prenatal doctor's visits, which her obstetrician, Dr. Richard Klein, described as so much fun to People magazine. So all 4 of them were present at the ultrasound appointment in July 2016, waiting to see whether or not the scans would show that an embryo had been successfully implanted. This type of wait was something Nicole Berrettini was used to. After all, she and Kevin dreamed of having children and wanted to start a family as soon as they each said "I do" in 2010. But the then newlyweds' lifelong health issues came back to haunt her as she and her husband settled in Smithtown, New York, and began to try for their first baby. Nicole's health problems first came to light when she was just 16 years old. At the time, she noticed tiny bumps covering the skin all over her body, and her eyes were jaundiced too. Her pediatrician consequently ordered blood work, and it revealed that she had only 8,000 platelets for every microliter of blood. The average healthy adult can usually expect between 140 and 150,000 platelets. A specialist at a children's hospital was able to diagnose the teenager with thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura, TTP. This is an autoimmune disease that causes tiny but hugely dangerous blood clots which can form anywhere in the body. Aside from the fact that these clots can be potentially life-threatening, they also made Nicole feel extremely fatigued. If required, she can spend up to 10 days in hospital having her plasma changed. With a regular regime of medication in place then, Nicole's health improved. But years later, when she and her husband began to try for their first child, the aspiring mom was dealt a devastating blow. Indeed, she learned that her TTP medication would harm her baby if she took it while pregnant. What's more, stopping treatment for her blood disorder would put her own health at risk. I got home from work and Nicole had that look on her face like something was wrong and I'm never going to forget it, Kevin told People. I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "The doctor doesn't think we can have children." And, you know, nobody wants to hear that. Faced with this dilemma, the couple took the heartbreaking decision to stop trying for a baby. The Berrettinis also researched their options and found that the costs around adoption would end up being prohibitively expensive. They then decided to freeze Nicole's eggs. Her condition was not genetic, but this left them with the far from straightforward task of finding a surrogate mother. We had heard stories that sisters carried and mothers carried eggs for women who could not carry, but I don't have a sister, and my mother's over the age to be able to be a carrier, Nicole told women's magazine Redbook. And because the Berrettinis reside in New York State, local law prohibits couples from paying someone to serve as a surrogate. They could have paid an out-of-state surrogate, but estimates put the price for that at close to $150,000, which the couple just could not afford. Nicole and Kevin's last hope then would be to find a gestational carrier, someone to carry the embryo without compensation, which is legal in their state. Luckily, many of the Berrettini's friends offered to carry the couple's embryos. Nicole told Redbook it was crazy to see how many people stepped up to the plate. But the couple's initial excitement led to more letdowns, as doctors found each volunteer unfit to carry their baby. After all, gestational carriers have to be in peak physical health to be allowed to take on the 9-month task. So the Berrettini spirits were a bit low the night they went out for a steak dinner with their friends Lianna and Shawn Fives in December 2015. Kevin and Shawn had known each other for almost 2 decades, and the Fives were well aware of the Berrettini's fertility struggles. But Lianna had a radical idea for a Christmas gift they could give to the couple that year. Kevin described their conversation to People. He said, "Lianna goes, you know I have 5 children. Shawn and I want to have maybe 1 or 2 more. And Nicole and I looked at each other with a puzzled look like, you have 5 kids, why would you want any more? And she goes, no, not for me, for you guys. I'd like to carry a child." The 2 of us just forget about it. We all started crying. For Lianna, the decision to offer her surrogacy service for free was an easy one. She told People, I was blessed to have 5 kids and they're all amazing, and I couldn't picture my life without them. And to see this family so deserving, it broke my heart. 6 months after that eventful steakhouse dinner, doctors implanted 2 of Nicole's embryos in Lianna's womb. However, the attempt was not successful. A month later, though, in July 2016, the repeat procedure worked. And how? The ultrasound revealed that both embryos were developing healthily, meaning that the Barantinis could expect twins. So on February 10, 2017, they welcomed their son and daughter, Dominic and Luciana, to the world. New dad Kevin tried to describe the feeling to people. It's probably the most amazing thing because you think it's the end of the road. Now here we are with 2 beautiful children. Since the birth of her twins, Nicole herself has remained happy and healthy. Indeed, thankfully, she's been in remission from any serious TPP-related illness for more than 2 years. She receives immunotherapy every 3 months to stave off any potential symptoms too. As for the Barattinis' relationship with the Fives, they all agree that their bond could not be tighter. Nicole and Kevin also named Lianna and Shawn the newborn's godparents, and the women are closer than they've ever been, according to Nicole. She told people, "I don't have a sister, but I'd consider her like that. We don't hold back. We're open, honest, and I'm constantly turning to her for guidance." The one thing the Barattinis could change about their situation, though, is their home state's strict laws against surrogacy. As Kevin said in July 2017 Facebook post, "As you all know, Nicole and I had a crazy journey to have Dominic and Luciana, and we've been blessed 2 times from Lianna Fives, who selflessly carried our twins. We've been working with local legislators and infertility specialists, reproductive specialists of New York, to make surrogacy recognized in New York State. That being said, we're happy that our story went public to help others in the time of need." Nicole also hopes their now viral story will give hope to other families who've struggled with fertility issues. She told Redbook, "There are people out there, like Lianna, who will do it out of kindness, and it's easier to find them than it seems. It's never the end of the road." Our videos are now translated in Spanish. Link is in the description below. Please do not forget to share the video with your friends below.